Good evening, everyone. I welcome you to today's session. Myself, Raj Bhargav, and I'm working as a cybersecurity analyst in Indian Cybersecurity Solutions. Today, topic is about XML entity injection. Okay, so let's discuss about this. Just wait a second. Let me share my screen. Okay, so XML. What is XML? External entity injection. So XML entity injection is also known as XXE. Okay, so it is a web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to interfere with an application processing of the XML data. So it often allows the user attacker to view the files in the application server file system. Okay, let's see what are XML entities. So XML entities is a way of representing an item in the data of the data within an XML document instead of using the data itself. So various entities are built in the specialization of XML language. For example, the entities of ampersand LT and ampersand GT colon represents the character. These are the meta characters used to denote XML tags and so much generally uh, represented using the FAM entities when they appear within the data. So let's see. Uh, and in this suppose let's take in some cases you can accelerate this XXE attack to compromise the underlying server or the other backend infrastructure by leveraging the XXE vulnerability to perform a server-side request forgery attacks also. So let's see how this XML in XXE vulnerability arises. See, some applications uses XXE format to transmit the data from browser and the server between the browser and the servers. So whenever they use this in the standard library or platform API to process this XML data on the server. So this arises when the XML specification contains various potentially dangerous features and supported these features even if they are not normally used by the application. XML external entities are a type of custom XML entities whose defined values are loaded from outside of the DTD in which they are declared. External entities are particularly interesting from a security perspective, but because they allow an entity to define the based on contents of a life path of a URL, file path of a file path or URL. My bad. So in this XXE attacks, there are various types of XXE attacks. So exploiting XXE to retrieve files, XXE to perform SSRF attack, to exfiltrate data, to retrieve data via error message. Okay, so let's see some lab over here. Uh, Let me change my screen quickly. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. So let's see about like one or two labs regarding this XML entity, and we can discuss about how we can prevent these all things. Okay, so over here is like asking us to like retrieve the files like this lab contains and this one chopstick feature that places XML input and returns an unexpected values in the response, as he says and like to solve the lab inject an XML external entity to retrieve the contents of the file. So let's quickly access the lab. As you see, he said like there is an vulnerability in chopstick feature. Let's see. Uh, so London, it says like 681 units, and you said there is a vulnerability in this one. While pressing it, it's trying to the server. It's communicating in the XML format. So let's try to capture this request using burp suite. So here my burp suite is also ready. I'm gonna intercept the data to here. I have turned on my intercept. Here I'm gonna turn on my burp also. So what I'll do is like I want this text of feature. So forward. Okay, it didn't capture properly, so just let me capture it again. Yeah, not this one. Just a second. Okay, as you see now, like here, as you see, XML version 1.1. Now what I do is like I'm sending this request to the repeater so that I can modify this request and see how first it is how it is going to respond and say it. Okay. So as you see, we have this toxic product ID and each and everything, right? So what we are gonna do is like toxic feature here. We need to write that thing like which we want to replace with that. So what I'm gonna do is like over here. So here I'm gonna write one code using that doc type typ. Okay, the product ID. Okay, okay, I got it. Uh, doc type. We can just give it like this text. We want to retrieve the things, so I'm just giving this entity entity XXE system XXE system, and the file path you need to give file. What he has given over here like slash etc slash password, right? So we need to write it down like that. So etc slash pass wd and close the bracket. Here it's not taking my. Okay, so I'll just do this as URL encode. So it will be taking each and everything. Just a second. Slash etc slash passwd. Why is it not taking? Okay. Now I'll just change the store ID to uh, ampersand XXE, and I'm trying to retrieve it, the data. Okay, here like I think I've written something wrong over here. Uh, and so like What I had done wrong over here? Mm, Here it's not taking. Why is it not taking over here? Here it's not responding over here. Control Z, Z, Z. Okay, why is it not taking over here? I log text entity XXE system. Here you can name it anything, not only XXE, you can just name it anything also. Okay. Uh, okay. Ampersand XXE. Okay, why this element is like not inputting it over here? Okay, then let me write it outside of the stock stick feature. Might be work. Uh, yeah, still it's not taking. Let's try to, yeah. See, invalid product ID, and we are able to retrieve all the like systems data, like where the root, bin, bash, like every data over here, as you see it. Okay, you guys have understood, right? Like how to do this one. So what I'll do is like let's go for another example. Uh, Let me turn off my burp suit. Otherwise, like it's gonna take a long time to get the result. So blind XXE to retrieve the data via error message. Let's see this lab and let's read what he's saying and everything. Okay, so this lab has like again stock check future and like phrase XML data, but does not display the result. To the lab, use an external DTD to trigger an error message that displays the context of the etc, the password and all. Let's access the lab. So external DTD, we need to write that DTD file like he said, like where it is there, and same as previously. Check the previous display the result. DTD contains again the check stock feature itself we had. So let's go here and again capture this request burp suit, and let's me go to the proxy and intercept the request check stock. Uh, Again, I'm sending this to the repeater and turning off this intercept off. Before going over here, like we need to write some TD to the exploit server. So what I'm going to do is like here I'm go to exploit server, and over here I'm writing a DTD over here. Entity percentage file as well. File system file etc slash pass wd. Okay. In the next line, like again, I'll just copy this. Control C, Control V. Again, here I need to write some changes. I need to do it over here. First here I need to write it like this eval. Again here I need to write it entity ampersand ash uh, nah, x25 colon xlip xfill system uh, and the file will be like invalid percentage 5. Okay, my bad. Like this it will be there, and you need to write it over here percentage eval colon and percentage xlif xfil xfill, and we need to store it over here. Okay, so now we have successfully written the thing over here. Let's see over here, see like the malicious URL like uh, exploit. Mhm. Okay, I'll copy this because like here we really need to write the DTD to it and those all. So what I'm trying to do is like again going over here and write the thing over here again like exclamatory mark doc type foo. I'm gonna take the foo over here again like it is entity entity percentage. Where is this percentage? You can take anything. Let's take some over here. Let's take there as well as system, and we need to paste my thing over, paste the URL over here, and here I need to take the percentage what GAR percentage here colon. Okay, let me just quickly URL encode because like it will be working more properly, and I am sending it. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we are not unable to see yet. Uh, okay, I made a mistake over here. Okay, my bad. Here I need to keep this and control U. Now I'll just send it. We should be able to send it like we'll be getting some error message with slash et containing the contents of slash etc slash password, but here We are doing something wrong over here. Okay. Let's try with the other name. It's not working. Might be XE. XXE. mm, XXE. Okay. Here we'll be getting the data. Like if you do it, we'll be able to get the data over here. So now let's discuss some prevention techniques and all over here. How we can prevent these all things over here. Okay. As you see here, we can use whitelisting. We can do disabling DTD processing and namespace aware phrasing and implement the input validation. We need to implement the input validation and in disable DTD, like as we see, like we have written DTD, like the sample DTD in the exploit server as you see. So like that, you should not be able to do that. And the disable external entities, we have mentioned the XXE entity or a GARR entity, right? That is external entity that we are implementing to the server, and we need to do the input validation. So that it is one of the thing that we can do. As you can see, validating and sanitizing XML input, whitelisting the elements, sanitize the input, defense in depth, like apply firewall, and those are phase configuration, network implementation, and monitoring the logging and monitoring, checking robust logging and checking those all things. We need to continuously monitor the system and all incident responses whenever incident response plan, and we need to update the security updates. We need to give the security updates. Okay, that's it for today's session, and thank you all.